Hello, everybody, and welcome to Gameday. I'm Kane De La Garza.
And I'm Grace Escobar. Last week, the Eagles had a bye, so they were able to focus on preparing for the 5-3 Denton Braswell Bengals. The week previous, the Eagles had a big 31-14 win over McKinney. They gave Prosper its first win in district, putting the Eagles at 1-2 in district and 4-3 for the season.
Yeah, it was a very impressive game last night. They had a lot of offensive consistency. It really involved in just us dominating that game. We really showed what we can do on offense, and I really hope it carries on to this game tonight.
Yeah, I hope so too. We really saw a lot of junior quarterback Harrison Rosar, who totaled in 238 yards with 3 TDs and 1 interception. Rosar is ranked among the area's top 20 quarterbacks in passing yards, totaling in 1,040 and 42 yards. What improvements did you see in Rosar in his terms of being able to just control the ball and connect with receivers?
I really saw his pocket presence really improved. He was being way more careful with the ball. He had a high completion percentage that game and a lot of yards. Anytime a quarterback has over 250 yards and 0 or 1 interceptions, it's a really good game. He had 3 touchdowns. He really dominated. I really saw a lot of his poise tonight, and last week or 2 weeks ago, and he really just dominated and showed us what he could do.
Yes, he did. He really connected with a name we mentioned week after week, junior wide receiver Hunter Summers, because he just continues to show what he's made of constantly. Summers totaled in 87 yards on 6 receptions and had a touchdown in the last 45 seconds of the game to seal the victory.
Yeah, he's a stud. He plays both sides of the field. He can really break you on his routes and can really cover you as tight as anybody. He's going to be very impressive for the next year. I cannot wait to see what he does as a senior year and see how he develops onto his game from this year.
Me too. I'm excited to see what improvements he makes because he's just going to keep getting better from there. Last week, Braswell went up against McKinney and dominated the Lions with a 49-14 win, scoring 35 consecutive points to easily pull away. The Bengals are ranked 41st in Texas, while the Eagles are ranked 69th. Braswell is 5-3 for the season and 2-2 in district play.
Yeah, Braswell has a very impressive offense. Just starting with the running back, they're leading the 6A area in rushing right now, and they just have no team that they have played has been able to stop their running game. We've played better running backs than they have, but their running game is just very consistent. They're going to ground and pound all game. It's going to be very hard for us to stop them, but if we do, it's going to come out with a W.
Yeah, the Braswell players definitely showed that their running was on display last week. Junior running back Jalen Burton had 37 carries for 167 yards with 2 TDs against the McKinney Lions, but you can't discount Braswell's passing game by any means. The Bengals also have junior quarterback Keegan Bird, who had 273 passing yards last Friday. Bird has improved week after week and shown that he is just getting more accurate and more quick with his decision-making on the field. Who is another player to look out for on the Bengals offense?
They also have a scare wide receiver, number 1 on their offense. He plays outside. He's very dominant. He's very dominant in man coverage. If you man him up, he's just going to get past you. He just torched McKinney a few weeks ago or last week. He is very dominant. He's very fast. He's very good route running. If we man him up, it's not going to be fun for us. We need to get We need to get press coverage. We need to get man coverage. Not man coverage at all. We need to get some combo coverage just to neutralize him. Maybe some double teams that will help us a lot in the long run.
The player that you mentioned is junior wide receiver Jerian Wallace, who is a major threat, especially after he played his best game against McKinney with a season high of 12 receptions and 232 yards and 4 TDs. Wallace has 4 offers, including one from West Virginia and UNT. What do you think Prosper needs to do tonight to maintain control of the game?
We just need to keep our momentum in the run game. It needs to be apparent. It needs to be unstoppable. We have not had a consistent running game. In the beginning of the year, we didn't have a consistent running game at all. We kind of built on it a few weeks ago, and we haven't really built on that performance. We need to get a running game that is very consistent. Once our running game is good, our passing game really opens up. We always have way more passing yards when our running game shows up. And if we just do that, we can dominate their defense, and it just won't really be fair. We just also need to keep their front 7 on their toes. And if we do that, they're going to call some man coverage. And if they call man coverage, I'm very confident that we're going to win that game.
Yeah, Braswell has shown that they are a team that is able to maintain control on both sides of the ball, especially if senior defensive back Armin Robinson is locked in. Robinson has allowed 0 receptions in man-to-man coverage in 2 weeks in a row and has proved that he is hard to match up with. What concerns you more, the Bengals' offense or defense?
100% their offense. It's just the running game. I'm saying it over and over again because that's all they do. All they do is run it over and over again. Their O-line has always been good. They always have a very big running back. It's just their game plan. It's not really the players they have, it's the scheme they have. Their running scheme is just very, very good. They run a lot of power. They run a lot of outside zones. They run every single thing you can run. They run inside zones, outside zones, power. traps. They run every single running play, and we just need to hop on top of that tonight.
Yeah, I want to see Prosper in the playoffs, but if that's going to happen, we need to see some big points from the Eagles tonight. I think Prosper is going to be a little more dependent on the run game tonight, so we should be seeing a lot of senior running back Marcellus Toombs, who had quite a few carries last game. Who are you going to be looking out for tonight?
I'm going to be looking at senior defensive back Caleb Miles. I mean, his coverage is tight as Skinny Jones on a lineman. He's always on you. I'm expecting a lot of deflections tonight or a pick, but there also could be them just not throwing the ball to him at all, which I think is a really smart decision for them.
Yeah, for sure. Miles is not only very aware, but also very fast. So if he gets the ball in his hands, we are for sure going to be able to see him breaking through tackles and getting down the field.
Yeah, and that's all we have for you tonight. Once again, I'm Kane Garza.
And I'm Grace Esselbell. Thanks for tuning in to Eagle Game Day.